Are you genuinely kind to other people? What does kindness mean to you? Is it buying someone something expensive? Or just opening the door for someone? Whichever it is, have you ever noticed that the very kindness you extend to others can sometimes yield not gratitude but contempt? If this ever happened to you, congratulations, you're in the real world. To understand why kindness sometimes leads to disrespect, we have to look at human psychology. People subconsciously categorize others into hierarchies: who holds power, who follows, who demands respect, and who can be ignored. From childhood, we are conditioned to respond to dominance and confidence. When someone is overly kind, expecting nothing in return, their perceived value may diminish. It's an unfortunate truth: what comes easily is rarely appreciated. Most people in this world aren't grateful at all, quite the opposite. So I'm not surprised if you experienced a massive disrespect after helping someone. Here's a hard truth: respect is earned through balance. People respect those who are kind but firm, generous but self-respecting, empathetic but not easily manipulated. To be kind is not to be submissive. Yet the misunderstanding arises when kindness lacks the anchor of strength. Too often, people confuse kindness with a lack of conviction or a willingness to be used. See, our brains are wired to categorize people. When someone is consistently kind, accommodating, and never asserts themselves, others may unconsciously place them in the less dominant category. This is a concept in social psychology known as dominance hierarchy. People naturally test boundaries, and if you always give in, they may start seeing you as someone they don't have to respect. When kindness lacks assertiveness, people assume you will tolerate anything. They push your limits because, well, you haven't said any. And here's the kicker: many people confuse kindness with weakness. If you're always agreeable, never saying no, and constantly putting others before yourself, some will assume you lack self-respect. And if you don't respect yourself, why should they? A person who bends too easily, who gives endlessly without thought of their own needs or principles, may unwittingly teach others to devalue what they offer. Human nature, as curious as it is, tends to test the boundaries of what it encounters. If you present yourself as one without limits, always forgiving, always yielding, always giving more than is asked, you may invite the unscrupulous to see you as little more than a means to an end. But it is not their fault alone. It is also your responsibility to communicate through action what you will and will not tolerate. True kindness, then, must walk hand in hand with wisdom. It requires a recognition of your own worth and the courage to set boundaries. Imagine, if you will, a garden. It is a generous and lovely thing to cultivate flowers for others to enjoy. Yet if you leave the gates always open, the weeds may overrun it, and the careless may trample what you work so hard to grow. This is why boundaries are not the enemy of kindness, but its guardian. When you say no with firmness and grace, you are not rejecting the other person. You are protecting the integrity of your kindness. Without boundaries, kindness becomes an empty gesture, a fruitless sacrifice that breeds resentment rather than respect. Kindness at its core is an act of selflessness, rooted in empathy and a desire to uplift others. It is a deliberate choice to extend warmth, understanding, and compassion to those around us. However, the essence of true kindness lies in its foundation. It must spring from a place of inner strength, not from fragility or a need to appease. To understand this fully, we must distinguish between authentic kindness and a counterfeit form of it, often driven by fear of rejection or an unbalanced desire to please. True kindness is an act of courage. How can you be kind without inviting disrespect? Ask yourself this question: what is the best thing you can do to another human being? Think about it. Exactly. It's hard to say just one thing, and that's why you need to focus on being kind in many areas of your life and help where you can. Kindness should always be paired with confidence. When you speak and act with self-assurance, People are less likely to take your kindness for granted. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It simply means that you value yourself as much as you value others. When you help someone or offer a kind word, do it from a place of strength, not submission. This ensures that your kindness is seen as a choice rather than an obligation. Second, setting clear boundaries is essential. Being kind does not mean saying yes to everything. It is okay to decline requests that feel unreasonable or overwhelming. If someone continually asks for favors, but never reciprocates or shows appreciation, it is a sign that they may be taking advantage of your generosity. A simple but firm, "I can't do that right now," or "I'd love to help, but I have other commitments," lets people know that while you are kind, you also value your own time and energy. Be selective about who you extend your kindness to. Not everyone will appreciate or deserve your efforts. Some individuals see kindness as an opportunity to manipulate or control others. Recognizing these people and adjusting your interactions accordingly can prevent you from being mistreated. It is important to be compassionate, but it is equally important to protect yourself from toxic relationships. Furthermore, kindness should never come at the expense of self-respect. You can be polite while still standing up for yourself. If someone is rude or dismissive, you can address the issue without being aggressive. For example, if a colleague constantly interrupts you, you might say, "I'd appreciate it if I could finish my thought before you respond." This approach is direct but respectful, demonstrating that you are kind but not a pushover. Additionally, body language plays a crucial role in how your kindness is perceived. Slouching, avoiding eye contact, or using a hesitant tone can make you appear unsure of yourself, making it easier for others to disregard you. Instead, maintain good posture, use a steady voice, and make eye contact when speaking. These small adjustments can reinforce that your kindness comes from a place of strength rather than insecurity. It is also important to understand that kindness does not mean enduring mistreatment. If someone repeatedly disrespects you despite your efforts to be courteous, walking away is sometimes the best option. Not everyone will appreciate kindness, and that is their issue, not yours. You can remain kind-hearted while choosing to distance yourself from negativity. Another way to maintain kindness without inviting disrespect is to practice assertive communication. This means expressing your thoughts and feelings honestly and respectfully. For instance, instead of passively agreeing to something you do not want to do, you can say, "I appreciate the offer, but that doesn't work for me." This type of response is polite but firm, making it clear that your kindness does not come at the cost of your own well-being. Furthermore, being kind does not mean tolerating unfair expectations. If someone expects you to always accommodate them, but does not show the same courtesy in return, it is worth addressing the imbalance. Kindness should be mutual, not one-sided. Recognizing when you are being taken for granted allows you to adjust your approach accordingly. It is also helpful to surround yourself with people who appreciate and respect your kindness. If you find yourself in environments where kindness is seen as a weakness, consider whether those spaces are worth your time and energy. Being around people who uplift and support you makes it easier to be kind without fear of being mistreated. Another strategy is to lead by example. Demonstrate that kindness and strength can coexist. If others see you being both compassionate and self-assured, they are more likely to respect you. This can create a ripple effect, encouraging others to approach kindness in the same way. In addition, gratitude and appreciation should be mutual in healthy relationships. If you consistently show kindness to someone, but never receive appreciation in return, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. People who truly value kindness will acknowledge and respect it. Moreover, practicing self-care is crucial. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and being kind to yourself is just as important as being kind to others. Prioritizing your well-being ensures that your kindness comes from a place of fulfillment rather than obligation. Finally, remember that kindness is a choice, not a requirement. You are not obligated to be kind to those who repeatedly mistreat or disrespect you. Choosing kindness should never mean sacrificing your dignity or self-worth. Kindness is a strength, and when used wisely, it enhances both your life and the lives of those around you. If you want to see more videos about topics like these, show some love by hitting the subscribe button and like the video if you genuinely liked it.